going on, y'all? This is Jason with another video, a little car video. I wanted to show you a picture of our video, whatever this thing is, of a 91 Camaro RS. Yes, RS does stand for really slow in this case. This is the 3.1. I've had this car for over 20 years. Maybe we'll go as far as 22, 23 years. It had something like 65,000 miles on it when I got it. I was a little surprised. My 87 Camaro had it had over 200,000 miles on it, and for some reason my dad decided he was going to start looking for me another Camaro. So he kind of surprised me. He drove up one day and said, "Hey, check this car out. Let's go for a test drive." So that was pretty crazy. He actually traded one of his cars in on it to help me out. So of course, originally, now y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, wet and from a distance is what's best for this car. It has seen better times. It looks fantastic from a distance and wet. How about that? I do still have 15-inch rims on it. Got the Cooper Cobras on there. I have the original rims, but only 2 of them are kind of in the original condition. One of them was torn up in a wreck, and it was re-welded and fixed. Another one I did strip all the paint off of it and clear coat before I had it fixed. And another one I had decided that I was gonna, hey, I'm gonna strip all this, I'm gonna polish these. Y'all, that turned out to be a lot of work. Once I got down to that part underneath the paint that is more of a aggressive finish, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to sand all this stuff to smooth it out. I'm not really sure this is something I wanna get into. Oh, let's not look at our tag. Not that it really matters, you'll see my tag going down the road. Anywho, these are the 15-inch rims that were on my 87 Camaro. Whenever I was in that wreck and one of my rims was tore up, my 87 was actually down at the time. I'd had both of them running for a couple of years, and the engine had gone out. It's like my dad was predicting the future. The engine had gone out in my 87, and so my dad robbed the rims off of it and put them on here, since one of the rims was tore up and all the rest of the rims were faded. So there I wound up with this set on here. Now I've been through several different kinds of tires. I had white leather on here originally whenever I put these rims on here, and then I went to some really good looking tread, a V pattern tread on some other tires that were on there, and here recently, past couple of years, I decided to go back to white leather. These definitely need some SOS on them. Excuse me, some is that SOS that comes in the green can, or some Wheel Bright, you know, for white leather, white walls and white letters. Those will really clean it up a good bit. And I need some tire shine on here. I just washed this thing. These rims haven't been polished in definitely over 10 years. As you can see, the water is starting to dry, and the truth is starting to show. So, last time this car was painted was 21 years ago, when it was in that wreck, and the front wheel was bowed out. This corner was tore up. There was some damage back here to the door. I probably went with the lowest estimate. Should have went with the highest estimate. If I would have went with a better estimate, the paint would have held up better. And let me show you an example of the kind of work like this place did. So this is the original plastic, okay? This was replacement plastic 20 years ago. So this was the original. You see how it looks. And this was 21-year-old plastic. What in the world is this plastic doing with this black? And then back here, this was original, but I painted this. So I had 3 different finishes going down through here on this. I had them gloss all my door handles and door locks. The trim here, the trim here. I had all that painted gloss black, and the guy was like, "You realize that's not stock?" I said, "Well, I really don't care whether it's stock or not. That's what I want." Right now we're at around 250,000 miles. I don't know what the deal is why this doesn't match up. I've seen other cars where this matches up a whole lot better. Almost all these parts were GM parts that we replaced it with, except for the hood. The hood was aftermarket because a GM hood was, even back then 20 years ago, was over $700, I think. Everything else, my dad had connections. He bought a dealership and got it for a better price. Y'all, paint just started peeling off after a while. Yes, I do realize that's rust. I'm not really worried about it because I have so many dents and stuff in this hood from hail damage, and I have no idea what this is from. There's a big old dent here. The hail damage was bad on the hood. That crack in the windshield is from hail damage. There's a few little dents here and there in the top from hail damage. I was sitting in a Walmart parking lot as the car got beat to death. I was inside and I could hear it just raining down on top of the building. This is busting loose. I've already put some double-sided tape on it once. So I did put a new motor and transmission in it. I've replaced the dash. I've had some interior work done once. It needs more interior work done again. Headliner's fine, but the seat's starting to wear out again on the driver's side. I can open the back hatch, but it won't close back. So I got it to close back this time. There's been twice where I had to bust out the wrenches and stuff to try and get it closed back, but I haven't opened it in years. What it is, what causes that, see this misalignment? The back deck lid, it has slid so far back that the part that comes down into the latch is misaligned and it won't engage to pull the hatch down. So when you slam it down, not slam it because I hate it when people slam them, whenever you push it down, it's just like it's hitting something hard. Clear coat just flaking off. So I mean, obviously the deal is the thing sits out in the yard, and see this? Ford got me. Got this, and messed up the paint here. So that was maybe 18 years ago. Car was in perfect shape at the time. Imagine this. Took a Camaro into Louisiana to go to a Motley Crue concert. Carnival of Sins tour, maybe? I'm not sure. I think it was one of the first two, one of their latter tours, second to last tour maybe. A friend of mine and I went because another friend backed out on me, and I got rear-ended on the way back. Traffic got all jammed up, and when it did, I stopped maybe about 10 foot from a motorcycle, and yeah, you can see some of the dents in the hood there. I stopped about 10 foot from a motorcycle, and I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw a big F-150 barreling down on me, and it had a horse trailer behind it. And he told me he knew that it was either me or the people in the other lane, because everybody was all jammed up. All of a sudden traffic had come to a big stop, and I mean, at least I rolled up as close to that motorcycle as I could get and stopped again. And the only reason why I bumped the motorcycle was because he knocked me into it. It didn't knock him over or anything. It was an older couple on 2 motorcycles. All it did was bend their license plate frame. So, did I put the same motor back in it? Unfortunately. Local shop that I deal with, that was probably my first experience at dealing with them. I had never used them before, and I was trying to get quotes at multiple places, and nobody would give me a quote. I had a list of things that I wanted done, and at that point it had like 223,000 miles on it. Original engine, original transmission, original fuel pump, all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff was original, and other people were giving no quote, wouldn't call me back. Basically I had a list, and I had my phone number. Hey, call me back, give me a quote. And I think people didn't take me seriously. Well, I went back, and a couple weeks later, and I still didn't have a quote. And the owner's wife was like, "Hey, what do you need help with?" And I said, "Well, I brought y'all a list of things I wanted to do to my Camaro, and I'd like to get a motor and transmission, blah, 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 put in." And she said, "Where's that list?" And she got to looking into it, and that day she had me a quote. And I forgot what she wanted. It was like $2,000 or $3,000 down payment before they get started. And I think I left it there or dropped it off like that week and brought the money that day, or either the next day. And now they had it for a couple of months, but everything turned out fine. They did a good job, but it is a 3.1. It is a weak motor. At the time when I had it done, the thing was leaking oil in so many places that I could crank it, and within 2 minutes smoke was like boiling out from underneath the hood. And I was just like, before I pay somebody all this money to fix all these oil leaks, I'm just gonna let them put another motor in it. And reverse was starting to act up in the transmission. And usually that's the first sign that you're about to have trouble. So went ahead and took care of that. So let's see, what else we got? I do have a video on the exhaust. At the moment, I can't think of what kind of exhaust I've got on here, but I do have a video on that, and I put a Wonder Bar on here. It is the Top Down Solutions Wonder Bar. Now, to be honest, when I put the Wonder Bar on there and I put a steering shaft, one of the modified Astrovan steering shafts, when I first put that stuff on there, it was really nice. Now, here was the deal. Either the Wonder Bar, the steering shaft wasn't clocked exactly like the original steering shaft, but I had to get under there and tweak on the tie rod ends a little bit, and the sleeves, because the steering wheel was crooked. Going down the road straight, steering wheel's crooked, okay? So I got to tweaking on it, and I think I had too much toe in. But at the time, the car drove fantastic. And, but I was really wearing on the front tires. And, so I had them look into it, align my front end, straighten my steering wheel up. And to be honest, it hasn't driven the same since. And I went all out on a steering box, thinking that would help. I put like a $750 steering box in there that was supposed to be the quick ratio. I got it from O'Reilly's. I thought that was a lot for a steering box, one of the most expensive ones I had. And y'all, the steering just isn't really that much better. It's still got slack in it. And actually, It actually feels kind of weird. I would absolutely love it if I could get rack and pinion steering in this car, you know, like a 4th gen Camaro. So much better than using a steering box. Maybe one day. I mean, I've looked all over the place. Looked all over the internet. Maybe I haven't looked all over the internet. I've seen some hack jobs on YouTube. People doing some serious modifying. But y'all know of anything out there that, like a kit that you can rebuild a front end and put a rack and pinion setup on it? Dude, I would love to see it. Post me a link, or, you know, tag me or tell me about it. Let's talk about that. That would be awesome. It'd be great if you could share that with everybody. Everybody else could see it. I would be glad to talk about it. It'd be worth it. It'd be well worth it. So, yes, these lights do look hazy. These are, you know, I had both of these replaced when I had the car painted. I'll show you something. This light's got a hole in it. This light still works. My dad passed away like 7 years ago. Several years before that, he told me to replace this light. This light was going to go out. That light still works. Why? I don't know. It's kind of strange. So, here's my old beat up Camaro. Appreciate you tuning in and watching this video. Oh, here's another crazy thing. This just popped up for nothing. This was one of the first like damages to the paint job. Paint just started flaking off. I don't know, y'all. I've been told, a friend of mine who is friends with the guy who owns that body shop now, said that he used to sell paint and supplies to the guy who owned the body shop previously. So whenever he put it up for sale, he bought it. And he said that the guy who used to own that body shop used to use all the cheapest paint and supplies he could, you know, trying to make all that profit. So, y'all, that's the way people are. Sometimes they'll get you. Sometimes they do a good job, and sometimes they'll get you. So, I appreciate you tuning in, checking out this video about my 91 Camaro. Yeah, let me show you this again. I'm bad about getting off track. See the way these look when they're gloss black, and that's like really old. That's a gloss black finish. This would be flat black stock, which I can't stand flat black on a car. Yeah, it's kind of seen better times. Okay, let me show you something. I gotta get off this video. So, see the way this glass looks? Let's go to the other side. You see these lines in this glass? Not sure if you can see it or not. But, okay, so what happened here? My car was parked at the end parking spot. My work building is right in front of me. They were remodeling the building. And right down from me, about where those woods are, or a little bit closer, probably a little bit closer, they were cutting in through the brick with, you know, like a mortar saw. It was closer. With a mortar saw, and the wind was blowing, and they were spraying all that brick and mortar dust all over the car. So it got all over the window. It got all down in here. And whenever I rolled my window down, I mean, you can see the scratches up here too. Whenever I rolled my window down, all you could hear was just like, you know, it was just tearing this glass to pieces, you know. So it's got lines and stuff in it. If I ever get this thing painted, I'm definitely getting another window in it. Okay, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. to Jason's Camaro videos, or Impala, or fixing the dryer, or I hadn't posted that video yet. We'll fix something, or we'll just talk about something. How about that? Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hope you had a good day. Hope you have a good week, and y'all take care. Have a good one. Oh, really important. I'm going to post some pictures at the end of this video, coming right up, of what this car looked like in its better times. Okay, I got to do some digging around in my pictures and post those up at the end. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. Have a good one.